JLo has been in the news a lot lately. From her poorly reviewed self-funded movie and documentary, her overpriced tour that was ultimately canceled, and endless divorce rumors, it seems like this year hasn't been too kind to JLo. Unfortunately, her current reputation is also affecting her beauty brand called JLo Beauty. There's been signs that JLo Beauty might be coming to an end. It's a mess, so let's get into it. Even though it feels like celebrity brands have taken over the cosmetic industry lately, they're really nothing new. These celeb-owned brands date back all the way to the early 90s and really took off in the early 2000s.
Meaningful Beauty is the first skincare line that I've seen to use this special melon extract and deliver impressive results. You can feel confident that you're using a combination of ingredients which work together to keep your skin looking young.
Thanks to Cindy, now we all have access to one of the most sought-after skincare doctors in the world.
The 2000s were all about fragrance, with the iconic Britney Spears Fantasy perfume and the many Paris Hilton scents. Then we had the rise of beauty products for your body, and now it's all about makeup. In the last 5 years, we've seen so many celebrities either launch their own brands or become the face of already established beauty brands at rates we've never seen before. According to PopSugar, in 2020 alone, we saw more than 10 celeb brands launch, followed by 15 more in 2021 and 18 in 2022. They all saw the success of Fenty and Rare Beauty, and once upon a time, even Kylie Cosmetics, and everyone wanted in. When you're hearing about these celebrity brands being sold for millions of dollars, you can understand why so many are popping up everywhere. In 2021, JLo was one of the 15 celebrities to launch their own beauty brand. On January 1st, she launched JLo Beauty with 7 products, including a serum called That JLo Glow, a mask called That Limitless Glow, an SPF, a face cream, a cleanser, an eye cream, and a complexion booster. This line was very much centered around obtaining that famous JLo glow that was so popular in the early 2000s. Back in JLo's height of her popularity, everyone wanted to know how she looked so young, how she got her glowy, bronzy skin, and there were always articles being published talking about what she used or what her makeup artist used. And now, 20 years later, JLo is trying to cash in on her ageless, glowy skin. JLo wrote about this 20-year journey on her JLo Beauty website and said, "For years, the #1 question I've been asked is about my skin, and so I almost felt an obligation to share what I've learned. It's taken 20 years to realize this dream because I knew that when we launched, it had to be amazing because it has my name on it. I've been involved in all aspects of development because JLo Beauty has to authentically mirror my values and reflect who I am, what I believe in, and how I live my life." And the tagline of her brand is "Beauty has no expiration date," as JLo wanted to take a less traditional path than most skincare brands that focus on reversing the effects of aging. She said, "Ageless isn't just a mindset. You can feel youthful at any age and feel great, not just great for 50. The goal was to create a luxurious but accessible skincare you can afford to use daily and products that follow you through life." I guess JLo's definition of affordable is much different from your everyday consumer because when people saw the prices of these products, they were shocked. Her products launched on Sephora, Amazon, and JLoBeauty.com, and later Macy's, and they definitely had a high-end price tag. One of her most popular products was the JLo Glow Serum, which would set you back $107. Her face cream is $72, the contouring body cream is $82. They were all super expensive. But maybe the ingredients were so good, the price point was justified. According to different dermatologists and skincare experts on YouTube, she did have some good ingredients in her products.
This also has some coconut fruit extract and fragrance. It's not very exciting. When it comes to the rest of the ingredients, there's a small amount of glycolipids as well as salicylic acid. I do like to see those. And when we look at the base or the bulk of the formula, a lot of it is glycerin, which is a nice humectant, cocamidopropyl betaine, cocoa glucoside, propanediol. These can have an oily-like texture and be very hydrating to the skin, but they're not exactly the same as olive oil. So when I look at this, again, it's not absolutely terrible. As JLo said, it's not La Mer, thank goodness, and it's not La Mer prices, thank goodness. But I really wouldn't spend my money on this.
But overall, the general consensus was that the ingredients and how much product you were receiving wasn't enough to justify the price point. Although one of the main selling points JLo was using for her brand and to stand out from other brands was olive oil. JLo did an interview with Vogue when her brand launched, and she talked about how growing up, her mom had all these beauty tricks, and one of them was olive oil, and that's why she included it in her beauty line. Now, when people heard that all these products were going to include olive oil, that became very controversial. Some people said that it would be horrible for acne-prone skin. They said it would clog your pores and cause nothing but issues. But this was apparently her special blend of different ingredients, which she called the JLo Olive Complex. She explained this complex to Vogue, writing, "My mom used to say that olive oil was the cure-all for everything," Lopez reveals, explaining the concept behind the JLo Beauty Olive Oil Complex. A blend of nourishing and soothing squalane, fermented olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and olive leaf extract at the heart of her new line. But this so-called olive complex has also been heavily criticized by skincare experts. Cassandra Bankson, who's a very popular and loved skincare expert on YouTube, criticized JLo Beauty's olive complex, writing, "JLo's cleanser specifically has the JLo Olive Complex. This is something that a team of marketers created, gave a new name, and tried to sell us on when it probably costs pennies to produce."
This cleanser specifically has the JLo Olive Complex. Again, this is something that a team of marketers has created, given a new name, and trying to sell us on when it probably costs pennies to produce, which has the extra virgin olive oil. And olive oil, it's primarily oleic acid, and that isn't always the best for skin. There are some medical studies that have actually shown that oleic acid, when applied to the skin, causes skin barrier disruption. Basically, our skin has a natural barrier, what's called an acid mantle. You can think of it as like a moat around a castle. Your skin is the castle, your skin cells are the little bricks, and the castle, stones, the walls. And the moat around that is like this watery, oily substance. Well, that watery, oily substance keeps things away from your skin. It is like a moisture barrier. And oleic acid can actually disrupt that barrier, meaning that that barrier can't keep intruders out from coming in. Oleic acid has also been linked to dermatitis. When we break down the word dermatitis, derma relates to skin, and itis means inflammation of. So dermatitis is skin irritation.
But the olive complex isn't the only thing that JLo is attributing her youthful glow to. She told Vogue that her ageless look is also from sleep, sunscreen, serum, supplements, and living healthily. And that's fine. But many people feel like she isn't telling the full truth. She later said in an interview that she's never got Botox or any kind of injectables done, and said her glowy, youthful skin was purely from olive oil and sunscreen. She did an interview with Elle where she said, "My mom used to say that olive oil was a cure-all for everything, and it's a secret I've used over the years because it really does work. When we went to do this, that was the first thing I said. It has to have olive oil extract as a basis." She also said, "I was in my 20s and I was dating this guy. He went to one dermatologist and I went to another dermatologist. Basically, my dermatologist gave me a great cleanser and some sunscreen and said, if you do this from now on, your skin is healthy. You're young right now, it's going to be great." And he's like, "But the sunscreen is the thing." And then I went to this other doctor with my boyfriend, and again, I was 20 something years old and I have never had Botox to this day. And she said, "Do you know you have a little line right here? We should start Botox." I mean, I had to be 23 years old, right? And I was like, I'm going to pass. I didn't like needles anyway, but the boyfriend's like, "Yeah, you should start it. I do that." I was like, no, thank you. And I just wonder what would have happened to me if I would have started Botox at 23. What would I look like right now? My face would be a totally different face today. JLo also posted a video of her using her JLo Beauty mask, and fans noticed how little movement she had in her face. Some of the comments were accusing her of having work done, and JLo responded denying the speculation, writing, "LOL, that's just my face. For the 500 millionth time, I've never done Botox or any injectables or surgery. Just saying." But a lot of people just find it so hard to believe that JLo is telling the truth. A lot of people feel like it's deceptive for her to claim that she's never had any work done and claim that her ageless skin is from olive oil, a good cleanser, and SPF.
There are a lot of rumors that Jenny from the block has had Botox or neuromodulators injected into the skin. I guess when she first came out with her skincare line, a lot of people were comparing the treatments and procedures she's gotten in the past to kind of what she shows up as today. And a lot of people were saying, she's had some treatments and I did them. Like some people who are undisclosed used and, you know, to be kept confidential, have said those things. And it is very confusing because to those of us who are struggling with our skin, looking for good products that we want to buy, it leaves us thinking, okay, does she actually look the way she does because of these products that she just created? Or has she been using sunscreen and olive oil on her face for the past 20 years and that's the secret? Or has she been getting special treatments and Botox and other things?
A lot of comments were saying, like, if olive oil has been such a great thing for her skin, why wouldn't we all just go out and buy olive oil and a good SPF and forget about spending hundreds of dollars on JLo Beauty? Obviously, JLo wasn't using her own brand for her entire life. It's not like she can attribute her JLo glow that was so popular in the early 2000s to JLo Beauty. JLo and her makeup artist have even been quoted throughout the years talking about all these different skincare products that she uses, many of which include retinol. But all of that aside, people were still confused why anyone would spend hundreds of dollars on JLo Beauty when we've been told how to achieve her glow over the years with more inexpensive products. JLo's makeup artist Scott Barnes even revealed that his favorite product to use to make your skin look glowy is an $11 sunscreen from the drugstore. He sat down with Tati over 5 years ago now and kind of hesitated to reveal the product he uses for glowy skin, but ended up revealing that it was a Neutrogena sunscreen.
What is your number one favorite product, drugstore and high-end?
My favorite drugstore product is Neutrogena. I use like this Neutrogena spray.
Okay, tell me more. Spray makeup?
No, it's like a, I'll show you in a second.
He's like hesitating. He's like, I don't want to tell you, but really,
all right,
maybe. Here it comes. It was in the kit. Okay,
it's
what's this?
Ultra Sheer Body Mist Sunscreen at 30.
Okay, why do you like this?
Because I'll show you watch. You ready?
Oh my God. Oh.
Look.
Oh, whew.
Super glow.
But it's sunscreen. Stop that.
Forget the MAC setting spray.
Stop that.
And this is also good for your skin, so when you go outside, bronzed.
And I wonder if he hesitated because he knew JLo was coming out with her own sunscreen and knew it was going to be much more expensive. Tons of articles were posted after this video was released saying that this $11 sunscreen was JLo's secret to her glowy skin, which probably made JLo mad considering her brand released their own SPF-based moisturizer for $55. Since these products were priced so highly, shoppers at stores like Sephora started to notice that her products were collecting dust on the shelves. Someone posted this photo to the Sephora subreddit and said, JLo Beauty literally collecting dust. And you can see there's a good layer of dust forming on that lid. Someone commented under the post and said, I feel like this is one of the brands where the celebrity name makes me not want to try it at all. Plus, the marketing pictures are always so ridiculous. And that's the thing too. Sometimes having your name plastered on your brand isn't always the best idea. Since the brand is so upfront with being JLo's beauty line, whenever she gets into drama or whenever there's going to be a negative headline about her, that's going to directly affect her brand. JLo has also been called out for her pictures marketing her beauty line. People have accused her of retouching her photos and blurring out any lines, especially in the videos. JLo posts a lot of videos of herself using her beauty line, and people have pointed out the very obvious blurring filter applied to all of these videos.
Sometimes I like to just take the JLo Beauty sunscreen, add a little bit of our booster to it like that, toast the edges. JLo Beauty booster. This is how you really look like you're shiny and glowy. I can even add at the end JLo Beauty Best So Long. And that's my Cupid's kiss look.
All the comments are about the obvious filter, with people writing, now can you show the process without a filter? This is false advertisement, JLo. You don't promote skincare products with a filter on the video. You're asking for people to not take you seriously. And that's the thing that makes people not trust your brand. If you're all about beauty not having an expiration date and being confident in your own skin, why would you try to sell your skincare products with a heavy filter on? People rather see your real skin and what it really looks like, even if there are a few lines or wrinkles. While saying all of that, I also want to recognize the social pressure there is for women to keep their youthfulness, especially in Hollywood. I'm sure if she did show her real skin, there would be articles talking about how she's aged and how she looks, which is a huge reason why people in the public eye hide behind filters and Facetune. There's a lot of pressure to look a certain way, but how amazing would it be for someone like JLo to show her real skin? How inspiring would it be for women who look up to JLo to see fine lines and all the so-called imperfections from the gift of aging? The marketing behind this brand could have been so empowering, but instead it comes across as deceptive marketing, and that makes people not want to support her brand. She also went on to do a video with Vogue to promote JLo Beauty, and right away you can notice the blurring filter over the video. All the comments are pointing out the filter and wondering how she can try to sell us her skincare products without showing us her real skin. It's not a good look for the brand, it doesn't show us real results, and once again, it makes people not want to support her brand. Only a few short years after launching, it seems like JLo Beauty is facing some major issues. A few months ago, it was announced that JLo Beauty was leaving Sephora stores in America. We've talked about how high the competition is to have a spot on the shelves in Sephora. If you aren't meeting targets and making certain numbers, you'll be replaced by the next best thing. We've seen this happen to countless brands, and it's usually a sign that things aren't looking too good for them. You can still shop JLo Beauty on the Sephora website, in Sephora Canada, and on JLoBeauty.com, but things aren't looking good. JLoBeauty.com has been having massive sales for months now. Almost everything is from 15 to 55% off, which has me thinking maybe they're trying to clear the stock out before officially shutting down for good. A lot of celebrity-owned brands are facing a similar fate as JLo Beauty. We had Jaclyn Cosmetics shut down last year, Addison Rae's Item Beauty, Kylie Cosmetics has been on a downwards trend for the past few years. A lot of consumers are just so burnt out on these constant launches and feeling like every single celebrity ever is trying to cash in on the beauty industry, even if they have no passion for it. There's a reason why brands like Rare Beauty and Fenty Beauty are finding so much success and have been for years despite being celebrity-owned brands. Rihanna and Selena seem to actually have passion for beauty, and it feels like they would actually use their own products. They've also made positive impacts on the cosmetic industry as well. Fenty set the standard when it came to shade ranges. Rare Beauty has a charity behind them called the Rare Impact Fund. JLo Beauty just seems like a cash grab to a lot of people. It would be one thing if the products were actually affordable and people could easily try them without breaking the bank, but unfortunately, the price has been turning people off since she launched. It's kind of like her concert tickets for her tour. Rows and rows of her venues remained unsold for months, probably because of how overpriced her tickets were. Her real fans who love her and want to see her in concert and go and enjoy themselves were complaining, saying that there was no way they could spend like $500 plus per ticket for a decent seat. Eventually the tour was canceled, and unfortunately, it seems like JLo Beauty may have the same fate. I think if JLo had launched this line back in like 2004 to 2008, it would have been a hit. Everyone wanted that JLo glow, celebrity brands were still a new thing, everyone was buying them up. This would have done so much better 20 years ago, and even her own makeup artist beat her to it. Around 2012, Scott Barnes launched his own brand called Scott Barnes Body Bling with products that cashed in on the JLo glow. A lot of people loved his products, so I'm sure people would have loved the same from JLo herself. She did have a JLo glow line, which included a perfume, a body wash, and a shower gel, so obviously she knew the market was there. Unfortunately, it feels like this brand just missed its timing. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. Have you ever used JLo Beauty? Did you like it? And what do you think about the line in general? Do you think it's overpriced? Do you buy into the whole olive complex thing? Or do you think it's yet another celebrity cash grab? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.